Hello, everybody. Welcome to another edition of the Light 360 broadcast. This is actually our first chat for this week. It's going to be a powerful week on this broadcast. Going to have some amazing stories, some amazing people that are going to be joining us this week. And I believe you're going to be inspired. So I want to welcome you, everybody joining us on the different platforms. I want to welcome Facebook. I want to welcome Instagram. I want to welcome Twitter. I want to welcome YouTube. Thank you all for joining us. I will, first of all, before we go ahead, like to just see those who are joining. If you can just type in the chat, let me know that you are joining us. That would be awesome. Just type something in there. I will be able to see it and see the people that are following. Also, please help us share this video. Share the link. Share the broadcast on your page, wherever you're watching, whatever page you are watching from. That would be awesome. All right. So once again, let me just reiterate what the Light 360 is about. Light 360 is about stories. Thank you, Omoni, for joining us. Yeah, thank you. Please let me know where you are joining from. That would be awesome too. If you can just let me know where you are joining from. Everybody, as you type, let me know where you are joining from. That would be awesome. I can't monitor the Instagram comments, but I can monitor on all the other platforms. So just let me know your name and where you are joining from. That would be awesome. All right. So I was saying that the Light 360 broadcast is about stories. So we basically bring people up who we believe that are shining in their spheres of influence, in their location, people that have a story. Thank you. People that have a story to tell about what God has done in their lives. And we thank you, Pearl. Yeah. So we showcase their stories on the Light 360 broadcast, and we have had quite a whole bunch of individuals, some powerful stories that they've really been a blessing to people. And I thank those of you that have reached out to us, just appreciating those stories and what God is, has used them to do in your own life to encourage you. So this week, I'll just give you a quick rundown of what we're going to be doing this week. Today, we're going to be talking with someone who, God worked in his life to start a business, an IT company, a business, just went, and it's a story of entrepreneurship, among other things that God is doing in his life. And the person happens to be my own brother, my younger brother, all the way from Lagos, Nigeria. And then later this week, we're going to be having my mom on this show. My mom just released a book. The book is actually available right now on Amazon. It's a book written for young people and even older people too. But it's a book about old age, about how you can prepare as a young person for your old age. I mean, I read the book. I was so blessed. I think before this show ends, I will share some of the link to how you can purchase the book, the Kindle version, and so on. We'll share that. But it's a very, very powerful book that I want to recommend to everybody. And we're going to soon blast it on all the social media pages. The book is titled Caution, Old Age Ahead. And then later in the week also, we're going to have another individual who was diagnosed with a learning disability when she was young. And she went ahead and, she never let that stop her. I actually know her story, was very much involved, with, a lot of things going on with her. She was making all those efforts. She eventually, she had a dream of becoming a dentist, and then she became a dentist. And now she has started her own dental enterprise, dental clinic that she launched in Chicago here. Awesome story. And we're going to also, be hearing from another person who is a teacher at Northwestern University. Northwestern University is one of the top 5 universities in the United States. He's a scientist there, but he's a believer. He's actually one of the instructors at the Leading Lights training. And he's going to be sharing his own story of how he's using what is, his faith and his science, and how he's using that to be a problem solver. So it's a loaded week. But, today, let's move on. I want you guys to pray for us for today because, we tried to do this last week and the network was not really good from Lagos. So please pray that our network will be fine today and we can have this conversation. The devil is a liar. This conversation must hold because I know people are going to be blessed. So please, I'm going to be welcoming my brother, Doyin Ijiwola, on screen right now. Let's welcome him, Doyin, all the way from Lagos. Hey, Doyin, how are you?
Hello, Pastor Lan. Hello, everybody. Nice to be here.
Awesome. I'm so glad that our stream is working today. We had
I'm glad.
difficult time last week.
So far, so good.
Yeah, so far, so good. We pray that it remains that way. So,
yes.
Well, the same question that I ask everybody that comes on will be the first question that I'm going to ask you, which is, who is Doyin Ijiwola? Before I tell everybody, the first time I saw you, let me tell you. I think I was 5 years old there. So I noticed that my mom, went to the, they said they took her to the hospital. I didn't even know what was going on because I didn't know whether she was pregnant or anything. I had no idea. They just said that they took her to the hospital. And then the next thing I saw was that they brought a baby from the hospital. And they said that this baby, that's my brother. I was like, that baby from the hospital. When they say, when I was young, when they say, where did Doyin come from? I would say that he came from the hospital. That's that's the way I used to say it in those days. So it was great. I would keep all the other details, private. Of the first time I saw you poop, I was like, what is this? Well, anyway, let's welcome Doyin Ijiwola. Is my dear brother, all the way from Nigeria. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, my name is Doyin Ijiwola. I'm Pastor Lan's brother. At least that's one way to introduce myself on this show. It's hardly the way I introduce myself, but it's the way I introduce myself on this show. I'm Pastor Lan's brother. Outside of being Pastor Lan's brother, by work, I work in information technology, and I'm also do a bit of agriculture, and I facilitate, train entrepreneurs on the side because I've spent all my adult life running businesses. So right now, I think I've learned a thing or two to actually give back, and it's been awesome. Been awesome, and I like to do new things. I like to start things and see them grow. I'm not fascinated by joining something that is big. I'm rather the kind of person that would like to join something that is small and see it grow. And that's been my story all along. I've been part of a lot of small projects that have turned big now. I've been part of people that were small before that have turned big now. And that's the core of who I am.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you. Now, there's a lot to unpack in what you just shared. A lot to unpack. So you are involved in agriculture. You are involved in IT. You have started, different. You like to get involved in things that are just starting, and you have been involved in, a lot of things, that are like that. So let's start from agriculture. Let's start with that. I know that you are a professionally trained agricultural person, but
Yes,
also
I am.
Daddy introduced us also to agriculture when we were very young. You remember those times that we used to plant stuff at the back?
Yes.
So tell me what you do with agriculture, first of all, before we move to the other stuff.
Okay. Well, let me start like this, that a lot of my classmates from the university will be surprised to find out that I'm a practicing agriculturist today. If they are to list the people that would practice, they won't list me as one of them, because my passion has always been technology.
Mm,
Has always been technology. But I study agriculture because of, like you said, daddy introduced us to agriculture.
mm,
Not, in fact, it's not the conventional type of agriculture
mm,
that people will know. It's not as if he had a farm. Well, he had a farm that he inherited, but
mhm.
it's not as if it was a farm that was really our great motivation. It was his love for flowers
Yeah,
that actually got. He was passionate about flowers. As
yeah.
in, he would
We had
travel
flowers
anywhere in the
all over
world,
the house. Remember
all
that?
over the world. He will bring
Everywhere.
flower. He might not bring you shirts, but he will bring flowers from that country.
Yeah,
So we have different flowers from different parts of the world. I
yeah.
know we used to go to the airport to pack manure.
Uh-huh.
We would drive as far as Ibadan to go and get
Mm,
flowers that we'll plant, we'll tend them, we plant
yeah.
them in pots. So in fact, that was what informed my choice of study when I was supposed to study in the university. I actually studied horticulture. This
Mm,
is actually the study of, well,
yeah,
flower is a subset, it's more than that, but study
mm,
of flower, planting flower is
yeah.
actually a part of it. And it was actually because of, what we were doing when we were young that
Mm,
actually informed my choice of course, because I've been used to it. I've been used to the cactus, the sunflowers,
yeah,
the cauliflowers. There's been all sort of flowers from all over the world. We are actually very, very blessed to
yeah,
actually that we had a dad that travels all over the world and brings
yeah,
adventure from
yeah,
there, and
yeah.
was a rich childhood actually.
I still remember those days so fondly. Even here, one of my dreams in Chicago here is to, to have some kind of a farm and garden and all that. And we actually we got a land recently that we started working on it to turn it into a garden. And I
All
just
right.
keep remembering Daddy. How Daddy introduced us to all kinds of soils. That will go and look for soils. He will bring flowers and even we planted corn, planted beans, kept poultry, and all that. I still believe that farming is one of those things that everybody needs to practice in one way or the other because that's what sustains the world. What do you think?
Yeah, it's actually, you are very correct. There's the new fad is actually urban farming,
Mm-hmm.
as
Yeah,
in farming in small spaces. I think
yeah,
in Japan they encourage people to farm on their rooftop, and
yeah,
people get points for doing it now. You can get tax rebates
yeah,
for having a farm,
yeah,
albeit small. It helps the environment. It purifies the environment.
yeah,
It's actually good for children to be involved in the life of a plant. It
yeah.
also teaches them discipline. It makes them appreciate life, and it
Yeah.
also help them to understand process.
Yes.
That that life is about process. If you
Yeah.
plant a seed today, the number of time it will take to germinate and grow is what it will take.
Yeah.
You can't accelerate it. After
Mm-hmm.
you have done your part, then you have
Yeah.
to learn to follow process. I
Yeah.
think taking kids through such a process help them to learn that life is in process. It
Yeah.
teaches them patience. That, oh, when you have done what your part, the next thing
Yeah.
is to wait. Even the Bible says seed time and harvest. People say seed time harvest, but I think it's seed time and harvest.
Harvest. Yeah. Mhm. Yeah.
Like
Because the process
there's a time
there.
you plant your seed, then there's
Mhm.
going to be a time. That's a process, and
Yeah.
there's going to be a time of harvest.
Yeah.
So taking kids through that from when they are young, it teaches them process, it teaches them patience, it teaches them to understand that in their life, it will take a process for them
Yeah.
to achieve their harvest too. So I
Yeah.
think it's every parent should try this.
All right. It looks like we lost Dwayne from Lagos. I'm sure he's going to get back with us very, very shortly. So let me just continue what he was talking about. Where we're talking about the fact that our dad, taught us how to. Yeah, thank God Dwayne is back. So
I
yeah.
must have touched something. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Yeah. Welcome back. Yeah. Continue. Yeah.
So
Mm-hmm.
I was saying that even if it's a potted plant, just get a pot, a flower pot, plant a seed or two,
Mm.
especially when you have children. Give them the responsibility of watering it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So when they do that, they see results. They see the seed germinating.
Yeah.
It makes them know that, oh, I'm being part of something important, and I'm also being part of process. And there's a lot of teaching you can actually take them through from young, and they
Yeah.
will never forget it. We didn't forget it. I was part of
Yeah.
this process when I was 5, 6,
Yeah.
7, 8, and when I was making decisions to study the university,
Yeah.
I went with that. I remembered what I learned when I was young.
Yeah.
So I think it's awesome if every parent will adopt it one way or the other.
Yeah, that is so powerful. Like my kids right now, I try to introduce them to all this farming stuff, like just for them to actually see. And I tell them the story that, for example, you said something. You said like you one of the things you do, entrepreneurship, you are passionate about it, and also in seeing small things grow. I believe that the same lessons that we learn, because I'm also like that, I'm always involved in something, planting or this or growing stuff from nothing, growing into something in different places. I think there's a transference of principles from what we learned from daddy on farming, that translates into what we do right now. Can you talk a little bit about that, the transference of this principle? You already started talking about it, but just talk a little bit
more.
All
right. Well, I didn't see it the way you are saying it up to now.
Mm-hmm.
I just thought maybe we pick it from mommy, because mommy is also like that too. Mommy is
we'll talk about mommy's
she's your mega serial entrepreneur. She's always doing something. She's always doing something. She can never be tired of doing something. She's always. So I thought we pick it from mommy, because I didn't see daddy as an entrepreneur actually.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I see him more as a process person, the career person.
Yeah.
That's what I see him as.
Yeah.
But saying it right now, some of those principles he applied in his life, we actually pick them naturally.
Yes.
We pick them naturally, like gardening, like studying. Because if you look at it, really, reading is like actually planting.
Yes. Tell us
reading
how.
is like planting. If you can maintain a garden, I think you will love to read, because they are both very boring. They will seemingly boring activities. That is when you see the harvest. When you see the harvest, that you will appreciate what you have been doing all the while.
Yeah.
So I remember we used to break stones too.
Oh yeah,
people break stone when we're doing our car park.
It's good that you are confirming it now for people to hear that. How we will take us.
Okay, I didn't break
to break one stone, but it was teaching us persistence.
Yeah,
like to stick to things. Talk about that.
Yeah. Yes. Well, I didn't break so much stone. Like for me, it was fun. For you, it was work. I remember the two of you to fight over it. Yes. I wasn't forced to do it.
You were
because I was young and I think they had a soft spot for me. So for you, it was drudgery. It was a lot of work. For me, it was fun. I get to go to school and tell my friends that we go to the airport, park the tarmac, and we break it in our house.
It was so tough for me. But later, as I look back, I was like, the lessons I learned from breaking the stones. Because some of the stone, you'll be hitting it with a hammer.
Oh, they were really hard.
And they won't break. But suddenly, you just hit it with a hammer once, it will just break. So it's been weakening. You understand? It's been weakening.
Yeah. We don't know which blow actually. You don't know which blow will break the stone. Sow your seed in the morning. Sow your seed in the afternoon, because you don't know the one that will. So
exactly.
I think
the breakthrough. Yeah. So don't.
Yes. But as you're saying it now, I'm seeing it now, but I never saw it that way. But I think a lot of our character were formed from those activities, because I can stay with something. I don't know. People always wonder, wow, you're doing the same thing. You could stay with it. When it's working, fine. When it's not working,
they say about me too. I can stick to one thing for years.
Yes, I know that I'm doing the process.
Yeah.
So I find like I don't. Some people will see me maybe 5 years time and say, "Oh, so what are you doing now?" And I'm still doing the same thing. And they're like, Oh, I envy your tenacity. But when I was young, we used to break stone. You just keep breaking. You don't
Yeah.
you don't have a choice. So, so
Yeah. So I really want to, for those who are watching, who have children, or even you personally, I would really advise you to get involved in agriculture in one way or the other, like something that will get you close to nature. You know what we also discovered doing that in our family now, like every family you want, I'm talking about my wife and I and the kids, you want to know what you all have in common. We've discovered that one of the things that we all have in common is a love for nature. So one of all the vacations we're taking right now is very connected to nature. You understand? Like I just that thing that daddy planted in us of touching soil, of going to the rudimentary of everything. Even though he was an educated man traveling all over the world, but he just kept us on those rudimental things. And I still remember those things up till today. And I'm trying to pass it on to people. And those things built my character for the things that I'm doing now.
yeah, it's true because his love for nature. We used to travel far and wide just to go and look at plants,
Yes.
to go and look at birds. It would just. He's not somebody that is given to so much adventure like that. But when it comes to nature, he will just park us in the car and we'll drive. We might just make a detour. Maybe when we are going to the hometown, we just make a detour to Premier Hotel to go and see some flower. We just go to the zoo or something.
And we'll pick the flower and take it home.
Yes, we'll bring them back. That's where we learn about the 4 o'clock flowers, flowers that that blossom at 4 o'clock.
Yeah.
And when it's past 4 o'clock, it goes inside. And that's one of the things I actually enjoyed in agriculture. That's being in nature, being away from the hustle and bustle of the city.
Yeah.
There are Saturdays that I'm driving to the farm very early in the morning. I'm passing by nature. I could gather my thoughts. I could have fresh ideas. I could be more creative. It rejuvenates. I think everybody should have that experience once in a while. Just drive into nature.
Yeah.
The ideas begin to percolate. You're beginning to solidify. Your thoughts will be different. It's early. It takes out the stress and everything. It will be like the reset that we had during COVID. Actually, you can actually have that kind of reset with nature. Walking in nature, staying even just being silent, just walking. Nature in itself purifies.
Yes. Very, very profound, Doyin. So daddy, it looks like we're starting with daddy because he has had so much influence on us. He has passed away now for about 8 years, but the influence on our lives just continue. The other thing that daddy made us learn was reading, right? Remember those things that daddy will sit us down individually to teach us how to read. And then we'll be reading to him. And then I remember those, if you make a mistake, he will just shout on you, hey, you need to put a full stop in that place. But we learn to read. We develop the habit of reading, which is characteristic of all his children now. You want to say the impact of that on you, study, because we're going to talk about how you got into computer, because you were self-taught.
Yes, I am.
Self-taught.
I am.
Agriculture to computing. Yeah, go ahead.
All right. Yeah. Well, one of the first profound thing about daddy was that we didn't go to preschool. He was our preschool teacher.
Yes, he said, I'm going to teach them myself.
So he was our preschool teacher. He taught us how to read and write. He actually taught us to read and write, and he taught us in a way I'll never forget. I got a lot of spanking for not knowing baby boo daddy. And that's what they call blending now. That's how you start learning to read. We start with baby boo daddy do So I remember I got a lot of spanking for that. It was as if my brain couldn't just speak daddy. I just don't know why. Then and another profound thing is that he started us on Yoruba.
Yes.
It was like
He said, my children will not read English until they have learned to read their native language.
So I remember before I started primary school, I'd read Yoruba books. And when I tell people that I'd read Aditolodumare, Kuye, all those Yoruba books, they're like, what? Yes, you made us read them. You would read them for him.
Yeah.
You would sit down and read them for him. I wish I could do that for my kids right now.
Yeah.
But times have changed. I'm trying.
About those books too. You know, he made us read all those supernatural books, you know, in Yoruba. Do you know that my passion for the supernatural, like, you know, God's supernatural, started from then, from reading those stories about going into those sheets and, you know, and all that. Yeah, so when I travel internationally now, I still remember those stories, you know, from those books, you know, that we read then.
Yeah. And they help your creativity too.
Yeah.
Because they really, really, really help your creativity. You could actually come up with ideas on your own.
Yeah.
So then I moved from there to Enid Blyton books and Famous Five, The Secret Seven, the Morally all sort. And because it started, that was what we knew.
Yeah.
We were fortunate that we didn't have the distraction of 24 hours television and internet now. So that was all we knew. We were hungry for it. It became a long life habit that if I don't read in a week, I feel something is wrong. I must be reading something.
Yeah.
I must be reading something. I really must be reading. I don't know how to do it. In our house, we struggle for book. You know, we fight over books. We fight over books. Like that's one thing we fight over. You might put. As in, you might not fight over clothes.
Our cousin that is posting there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
in our house,
go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Go ahead, Doyin.
Now I'm saying that in our family, I'm talking about us siblings. It was usually a struggle for books. You buy books in the house, everybody wants to read it. You know, when you finish, people are taking turn after you. I'm reading, and you know, visitors come. When the visitors used to wonder when you see us on the dining table, everybody has a book they are reading. When you are eating, there's a book in front of you, and they're like, "Why are you people eating and reading at the same time?" Mommy will say, "Just leave them."
Yeah,
that is our habit.
I saw
just leave them. Let them
go into the toilet with books. Do you know that I still do that till today?
Yes.
I can never go to
the restroom. How else will you go to the toilet if you are not reading something?
Was that
Is there another way around? Is there another way?
There's no other way to go to the restroom. I mean, how will you enjoy?
I don't understand.
I don't understand somebody goes to the restroom without a book. I can't
just waste that peace and quiet.
But you know, just saying that.
Well, put that in the constitution.
Like all these things.
We should put that in the constitution.
Okay, so let's talk a little before we move forward further. Influence of our growing up again was our dad traveled around the world, and also he traveled around the world, right? He brought the world to us, but we lived in Pakpa Shapa, right? So we had a best of two worlds. You know, we want to speak about the influence of that because now I see the things that I do now. Do you get what I'm saying? That even when I go to nations, I see Pakpa Shafa there. Then like everything just comes together. Yeah, go ahead.
For me, like, you know, we were privileged to, you know, we had a dad who travels maybe 2-3 times in a year. And he doesn't go to, you know, the normal places other parents go to. Other parents go to London and they go to New York.
Yeah.
But he was going to places like Auckland, Oslo. So I know the capital of almost all the European country, almost all the countries of the world, because he will bring a souvenir from that country. Yeah. I remember I grew up knowing Ottawa.
Yeah.
Because we had a tree. We had a tree that had Ottawa in it. I didn't even know Ottawa was Canada until
Adelaide.
until a long time.
Remember Adelaide then in Australia? We call Adelaide.
Adelaide from Australia.
I remember the first time I saw Los Angeles, I call it Los Angeles.
Yes, that was 1984, the Los Angeles Olympics.
Yes.
He brought us T-shirt from Los Angeles Olympics.
Yeah.
It was in Los Angeles in 1984 during. Mommy just said something now.
Mommy said we're talking about okay, yeah, go ahead. Yeah, so it's just I think
it was that.
Go ahead, please. Go ahead.
Okay, I said that it was that his trip to Los Angeles in '84 during the Olympic that actually sparked my interest in sports.
Can you imagine?
Because you know, as it was like I started watching sport from 1984 because you know we knew that Daddy was in the Olympics. Then when he came back, he brought us T-shirts. Then we knew the likes of Igunike, Jerry Okoro Dudu.
Yes,
you know, those were the 1984 Olympics, and I think my own, because I really have been interested in sports, and I know like the go sport person.
You know the person. Jesse and Joshua, they are exactly like you. Like all the name of all the sport, I have no clue of but Joshua and Jesse, they know all the names, they know everything.
Yeah. So I think because of his travels, he actually painted a picture for us. So it wasn't easy to settle for normal. It wasn't easy to settle for less, because you want to experience those cities he was talking about. You know, you want to travel to those places, and so I think it just gave me the foundation I needed not to be ordinary, not to settle for less. And I actually had to work with people from different parts of the world, and I've never actually feel inferior to anybody. I've never felt inferior to anybody from any race, from any tribe. I've lived with Americans, I've lived with Europeans, I've worked with Americans, Europeans. I remember there was one job that I started, a consultancy job, and so the company, I was just newly employed as their IT consultant. So one of their expatriates was having a problem, a German. So I was supposed to solve it. So I went to his table. I said, "Oh, hello, good afternoon. My name is Doyin. I'm the new IT consultant. I'm supposed to work on your computer." And I had my hands in my pocket actually, because it was my default. It was like my default stand. It's nothing about pride or anything. Just I like to put my hands in my pocket when I stand. So he said, "If you want to talk to me, then you have to take your hands from your pocket."
What?
You know, an expatriate, Nigerians are usually very scared of expatriates. And I told him, I said, "Oh, that means you are not ready for me to solve your problem. I'm going back upstairs. When you are ready, give me a call. I'll come back and solve your problem." And I left him. I'm not going to apologize for putting my hands in my pocket. It has nothing to do with my competence. It has nothing to do with the job I came to do. And he looked at me, he was taken aback. He's used to Nigerians, you know, cowering to him. He will say, "Sorry, sir." I was like, no, I wasn't proud. I just say like, you ain't ready for you to solve your problem. I'm the one that's going to solve your problem, whether you like it or not. So if you don't want your problem solved now, no problem. When you are ready, call on me. I would be here. So for me, I think I got that from growing up. So I've never felt anybody was more superior to me. I never see anybody as inferior to me. I don't judge people by their station in life. I don't judge them I judge them by the content of their character. I judge them by
even though Daddy
human being that they are.
Even though Daddy traveled all over the world, you will see him come back, right, to Kwakwa Shafa, and his friends there were all those landlords. You know, they all came when he was buried. How he was so, a lot of them were not educated, but he was their, he was their friend. He was a very simple man. And just like what you were saying, that taught me never to look down on anybody based on their station, Don't look at your own station and think that somebody's worse than you or somebody's better than you. You know, just be a lover of people. I think that's another thing that we picked up, you know, from growing
Yeah,
up.
just appreciate people for who they are. It's not people are not their jobs. People are not their privileges in life. They are not their opportunities in life. If you really look at it, I think Malcolm Gladwell in Outliers taught us a lot that our success is not actually based on our own doing. It is a lot of opportunity that we got.
Yep.
So
Yep. All right. Looks like Doyin is talk a little bit, but I'm sure he's going to be back. But just a
hello?
recap. Oh, go ahead.
Back, right?
Yeah, you're back. Yeah, good.
Hello?
Yes, I can hear you. We can hear you.
Hello?
We can hear you.
Hello?
You can go ahead. We can hear
Hello?
you. Can you hear me?
Okay. So I was saying Gladwell showed us in Outlier that a lot of our success is based on opportunities that were presented to us. We might think that we were successful because of our ability, but a lot of them are just opportunities that actually worked out for us.
Yeah.
Like, so for me, I don't judge people by their failures. I don't judge them by their successes.
Yeah. I mean,
I
Bible
just
says,
judge them by the content of their character.
yeah, the Bible says it too now. I would say the race is not for the swift. The battle is not for the strong. Right? He said, what happened? He said, time and chance happen to them all.
Yes.
So, you know, that was the real thing is time and chance, which is opportunity. Basically, that's what chance means there. Opportunity. Everybody has time, but opportunities, you know, is actually what makes the difference. So that's very true. That's very scriptural. So very good. So let's shift gear a bit and let's talk about your endeavor. So with all that background and everything, you know, from what you learned from farming, from daddy, you know, then our mom, right, which we're going to have mommy on.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know the exact date, but maybe it's tomorrow or the day after tomorrow. We're going to have her. I would like you to join that show too, if you can, so that we both can interview her. So that would be great. So, but we learned entrepreneurship from her. We learned generosity from her, opening up, you know, yourself and sacrifice and all that, which is part of our lives right now. Now you took all that, right, everything, and you completely reinvented yourself, right, from horticulture, you became an IT consultant, self-taught. Tell us about that journey, because I think people are interested in hearing that.
Okay, let me say that, let me thank you for being my brother. And I think my foray into technology, actually, I took them from you. I remember when we were young, you would pick up physics textbooks, you would read how to do something, you would do it. I remember the speaker. I remember when you tried to make a transmitter, wanted to transmit shortwave, and it was all, you just pick daddy's books. You were in secondary school, you would pick daddy's book, you will read, and you practicalize and turn things into, you know, you make them out. You made so many electronic devices. I learned how to make a generator from you. I can still make a generator till now. Yeah. It is just called turning a magnet. You know, I remember you trying to make good hydro electrical generator.
Yeah, hydrogen in our house. You remember? I started to create hydrogen electrolysis, and I'll blow up stuff. Boom!
Yeah. You make carbon microphone.
Yeah.
So I was your sidekick then. I was your assistant.
Yes.
I was your assistant scientist then. Our room was always smelling of hydrogen, carbon, all sort of things.
You see, when I tell people those things now, they think that I'm just maybe I'm
making up. No, I don't think they should come and ask me. I don't think you would even do justice to the story. Yeah. You were making real things that were working. This is not the days of internet.
Yeah.
Anybody could actually, go to YouTube now and learn to do something.
But then I had to go and get components from this radio, from that.
Yes.
Bring them
read voluminous, boring textbooks, scary textbooks. when your mates were out, listening to music, you would just be poring over books,
Yeah.
big scary books, engineering books from daddy.
Uh-huh.
You order books from like catalog from mail order,
Yes.
so things like that. So you used to make a lot of things. For me, it was natural for someone to pick something
Yeah.
and just read.
Mm.
So when I left secondary school, that was the time that computer was actually gaining ground. Internet was gradually coming into the country. So I like that. I remember telling daddy then that, I wanted to go to a computer school, some of these computer schools to just go and learn. Like he said no. He said no. He said no. You just go to university, just go to school and everything. So I decided to start reading. So materials were limited then, but anything I could lay my hand on, I would read then. Anybody that say anything that I need to do with computer, I would follow you. I would ask you questions, and that's when I met one of the most important relationships in my life.
No,
My
that Clement.
mentor,
Oh, that
Mr.
Clement.
Clem Itegbe.
Yeah, Clement Itegbe.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, Mr.
Mhm.
Clem Itegbe.
Mhm.
So he was the only geek around. He was the only geek around that we know. That today we are still very good friends.
Yeah, I saw he
He made
posted
a comment on
under this.
he made a comment on Facebook.
Mhm.
Yeah, like like one of the awesome young guy that I met, something like that. People
Yeah.
used to wonder that what he used to talk about because Mr. Clem was very geeky. He
Mhm.
doesn't actually talk to anybody like that.
Mhm.
He's always just there. He's just somebody that people don't know how to relate with because they really can't communicate with him.
Yeah.
But he and I will sit down, we'll be talking for hours, we'll be talking gadgets.
Mm.
So that was me asking him questions like,
Mm.
okay, I wanted to do this, I wanted to do that. So he invited me. So there was a day I was having a training on Windows and Microsoft Office. So he
Mhm.
invited me 2 days training for some executive. He asked me to come along. And that was like for a long time, that was the only computer training I attended,
Mhm.
structured training that I attended. So
Mhm.
for those 2 days, I just learned. So I learned from him. I'll come back and ask him questions. And I was somebody that I want to know everything about everything around it.
Mhm.
So I would read. There was around that same period that when you were pastoring in Nigeria, Kingsword
Mhm.
acquired a computer. It's funny how the computer was acquired.
Yeah.
Today we buy the casing. Tomorrow we buy the hard disk.
I
Even
would
another one we must buy the
we have to
keyboard.
join it together.
We give testimony in church. We give testimony in church and like, oh hallelujah! Today we brought our ram. Everybody
That's the
would dance
Kingsford.
in
That's the
church.
Kingsford International. The Kingsford Ministry International. Can buy any computer they want. They buy a part and putting it together little by little. Wow.
Yes, as in now Kingsword is everywhere now, but that's how the first computer in Kingsword was acquired. So
Yeah.
when we finally acquired the computer, I would just go to church. Sometimes I would stay in church overnight. Only me in church.
Yeah.
I would just be learning, practicing, taking textbook, just learning anything I could learn.
Mhm.
Then Leke Oshiname,
Yes. Yes. My
your
classmate.
classmate
Yes.
in uni.
Yeah.
So I think he was in Ethiopia for a while, then he came back to Nigeria.
Yeah.
So he was working in the company, it was an ISP company, it was an ISP. So they just newly started in Nigeria. So Leke had unlimited internet. That's very rare in Nigeria. He had visa to himself.
Yeah.
So weekends, so 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 Saturday evenings, I would go and meet Leke in GRA. That's where his office was.
Yeah.
So I would stay with Leke. I would stay overnight with Leke. We'll dress up. in his office and come to church on Sunday.
Mhm.
So I get the opportunity to solve the net 1998. I'm talking about 1998, 1999 now.
Yeah.
As in, I had the opportunity of, we were used to dial, every year was dial up, every other place was dial up, modem. But
Mhm.
Leke Oshiname was my first introduction to broadband internet.
Wow.
Like, I remember the first time I got on the computer, I was looking for where to dial up, I was like, there's no dial up. So, so there was no dial-up actually. So there was no dial-up. I was like, oh really? I was fascinated. We just opened this computer and everything just go. So I would download materials. I would take them to church. I would read them. I would practice them. I would stay. So in uni, so I was doing the same thing. Then uni, there was always this ASU strike. So anytime there's ASU strike and I'm in Lagos, I would just go and meet Mr. Clem and like, can I follow you to work? And so I started following him to work. I will help him. Then there's something he noticed was like, if he send me on an assignment, he had other people, he will send them to go and do something. He will need to go back and redo it. He will need to go back and redo it. So it was usually like double effort. Like he's like, he has to go and read the game. But when he got me on, he would tell me to go and do something. I'll solve the problem. He will not need to go. So we kind of developed a lot of rapport that, he will split his duties between us. Okay, Doyin, you go to this company, I go to this company. And I would do everything perfectly. Yeah. So I think we had a long ASU break that was like over 6 months. So I really worked with him. I followed him to company. So he introduced me to servers. As a young person learning computer, you wouldn't have access to server because nobody's going to trust with their server. Servers are expensive. They control what people work on. They control the life of the company. So nobody wants to trust you with their server. And say a young man. So he gave me that opportunity. He would teach me how to configure Microsoft Exchange, Windows Server, all those things. So when I was in school, during breaks, I work with him. So, and this is what started my entrepreneurship journey, actually. So, when I graduated, the only thing I was thinking of was, I'm going to join up with Brother Clem. I realized that Brother Clem was very good with the technical side. He wasn't so good with the business side.
Yeah.
So, a lot of people
improve that. Yeah.
Yeah, so a lot of people used to cheat him in business.
Yeah.
So when I was with him, I used to manage his time. For example, if you give somebody a 4 o'clock appointment, he doesn't know when he's giving the next person 4 o'clock appointment. So I'm not telling him, no, Mr. Clem, you just give somebody 4 o'clock, and they can't give another person. So I was like, we were like a tag team. It was really some kind of partnership. So that was the only thing I was looking forward to.
Yeah, before you go ahead, I want you to extract some principles out of what you just talked about. Before we go to your entrepreneurship starting, but some principles that I can see from what you just talked about for somebody who is watching, who is thinking of, either changing their profession or getting into something. You had already talked about mentorship. You've talked about, like helping somebody, serving, and just different things.
Volunteering.
Yeah, go ahead and just talk about that. What some principles from.
All right. Oh, I can articulate them for anybody because I took a lot of time to think them through, and I teach other people to do it. The first thing that I always tell people is that your next level is inside your level, inside your today. Your present status in life is a seed.
Somebody needs to type that for us. Go ahead.
Your present status right now is a seed. In itself, it has all the resources you need for your next level.
Yes.
So the relationship around you, the relationship that will help you to get to your next level is already around you. In fact, the contact is on your phone right now.
Yes.
God is not going to bring the person into your life. He's not going to bring the person into your life maybe next year. The person is already in your life. The person that will take it to your next level is already in your life right now.
Yeah.
Every resources you need for your next level is available to you now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That your present level is a seed for your next level.
Mm-hmm.
A seed actually comes with, it's when you plant a seed. What makes a seed is that it has a store of food
Mm-hmm.
that it needs to germinate. It
Yeah.
just needs to find itself in the right environment.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to look for food from outside. The food that will make it germinate, grow,
Mm-hmm.
is actually already in it. The same way, your present status is actually a seed for your next level.
Yeah.
So if you are there, you are trying to see your next level, and I'm telling you, your next level is in your phone,
Mm-hmm.
is in your contact, it is in the time that is available to you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Some people don't have a job right now, so you have time.
Mm-hmm.
So you can actually invest that time
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
create the future that you need.
Yes. Yes.
So another thing is that seek knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
You can't fly by life. You can't fly by life. You can't fake it.
Yeah. Yeah.
People will find you out. When people give you opportunity, if you don't have the substance,
Mm-hmm.
if you don't have the substance, people will know.
Yeah.
It will show.
Yeah.
It will show in your life. People will see it. So for me, I didn't even know that I knew so much, actually. I didn't know that I knew so much. I just thought I was just using what was available to me then. I was just learning. I didn't have a teacher. We couldn't afford to go to the Aptech, the NIT. And I remember I met somebody then. Also, let me see. I think her surname is Olaiton now. Dr. Olaiton's wife.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I
Yeah. Yeah. I remember her.
then
Yeah.
Yes, I met her sister then. So
Let
her
me see.
sister was
I would.
her sister is married.
I would
Yes,
delay. Let me see. I would.
yes, sister Buki.
Yeah.
Yes, let me see Awodele.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So her sister then, she's married to somebody who's a computer scientist
Mm-hmm.
that was working in a big corporation. So
Mm-hmm.
he wanted her to study computer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So he paid so much for her to go to computer school then.
Mm-hmm.
So she will come back with textbook from her computer school, but she wasn't reading them. So me, I'll just pack them. Her NIT textbooks, I'll just pack them. I will just practice with them. I will return them. She was just seeing it as if,
Mm-hmm.
well, this my husband is stressing me.
Mm-hmm.
So that was my encounter with Java,
Mm-hmm.
with all sort of things. She was paying for she was the one paying for she was the one paying the tuition. I was the one studying. So if you are determined, opportunities will find you.
Yeah.
Then volunteer your service. If what you have on your hand now is time, then volunteer your service.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing takes you higher than volunteering. If you want to start anything, you volunteer.
Mm-hmm.
It allows you to learn, it allows you to make mistake in a safe environment.
Yeah.
So volunteering in church, then I was brother Mr. Clem used to do the church newsletter. Then I learned how to do graphics. So I took over from him. I would arrange the church magazine. Then I joined the department. Sometimes I would be in a business center till like 2 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
just arranging the magazine so that people could use it the next day in church. Then I would go and sleep in church. It wasn't easy then because
Mm-hmm.
the resources are available now. They weren't available then. We'll have to scrounge, from here, from there to achieve whatever success you'll achieve.
Yeah.
So for me, I was taking advantage of what I could. It wasn't like I didn't want to get a tutor. It wasn't like I didn't want to learn from people. We just couldn't afford it. I couldn't afford it. So I just had to do what I could.
Yeah.
So those are the things I could extract from.
Thank you. Now let's go to your entrepreneur. Let's talk about Integrated Orange. So tell us now, your company, what you do, and just the process for people that are interested in entrepreneurship. How you move from this process into that. I just want to say again, we have about 6 minutes for Instagram. So Instagram is going to kick us off, but we're going to remain on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter and Periscope to continue this conversation. But for those who are watching us on Instagram, Just wanted you guys to know that we will be off Instagram in a moment, but you can come and join us to finish this conversation on Facebook, Twitter, or YouTube. Go ahead.
Okay, yes. Okay, so honestly, like, okay, well, when I was in school, I dabbled my hand on entrepreneurship, and so this is how it started, and it all came back to this why I started. When I got to school, then I realized that there was actually no cyber cafe in school. So I thought that I already know how to do networking, do all this stuff. So I then got up with a friend, shared the idea, like, oh, I really want to start a cyber cafe. And she was excited. She started to like, oh, let's do it, let's do it. So we during the holidays, we got together, we went to see one of our rich relatives. You know, the person works in an oil company, was working in an oil company then. So we went to meet him in his office. I remember his office was very cold. I couldn't concentrate because the AC was too much. That was a long time ago. So it was like that. Okay, we told him what our vision, what we wanted to do. That we wanted to like them in our school. There was no cyber cafe. The only cyber cafe was on campus, and we think we could build a cyber cafe outside campus. So he looked at us, said, "Oh, what do we need?" Well, like he said, also like, you know what, you guys need to have a proposal. You need to have, let's know how much it will cost for what you need. Then how much it will cost, you know, how much you will make from the venture. So you need to have a proposal that will show us. I said that's when anybody will take you serious. So before then, I didn't know about writing proposal for a venture or anything. So because he said that and I like challenges, I took it on. So I went back, I wrote the proposal. I thought through everything. I thought through everything that needed to be done then, including how much we will make per hour, per day, per month, how much we needed to buy the computers, everything, how much we needed to rent the place. So I wrote the proposal and I came up with it. So I took it back to my friend who sent it to him. Then between my friend and him, they got like 3 or 4 other people interested who were actually really interested in doing it. So what happened was, let me say, I suffered my first betrayal in life. So
that always comes.
yeah. So one day we used to meet. We used to meet every Sunday. I just got to the meeting venue one day. I realized that they've changed the meeting venue and they've excluded me. They took my proposal because it was so detailed. It was so detailed they could do it themselves, you know. They could do it themselves.
Yeah.
So they just excluded me from it.
Wow.
I didn't have any hard feeling. I didn't see it as anything. I said, well, I wasn't taught to hold grudges against anybody. So we resumed back to school. So I will see this my friend. Yeah, I'll just talk normally. She will say that it was the man that said no, that they should not involve me. No problem. But I realized that they really couldn't start. For a long time, for like a year after the proposal I read, they had people who were interested. They really couldn't start. So, and I was like, so I keep asking, so how far with this cyber cafe? You know, are we back?
Yes, we're back. We're back. Yeah.
Hello?
Yes, we're back.
I was like, how far with this cyber cafe? She was like, we are looking for space, we are looking for all these things. So I was like, okay. So one day I actually saw there was a petrol station that had an empty shop.
Yeah.
So I look at it and I thought, oh, this would be an ideal place for a cyber cafe. And because it's a petrol station, they have a standby gen. So the gen is always on. So I just told her, I said, if you approach this petrol station, they might have actually take you on because you won't have to buy a gen, you won't have to start from
Like
scratch.
that's what we call gas station on this side. Gas station.
Yeah, gas station. Yeah, the gas station. So
Yeah.
so
Right.
like a gas station. So it had like a shop up there. So like if you approach them, they might give you, and she actually approached them, and they actually released the place to start the cyber cafe. Now I was the most qualified person to run the cyber cafe. I had networking experience. I could fix computers. I could do a lot of all those. They are very, very handy. So at the end of the day, I didn't start. I wasn't part of the people that owned the cyber cafe again. But at the end of the day, the cyber cafe still started based on my advice, and I had to run it for a few years too. And they were paying me salary for running it. And as a student, I had unlimited internet to use to myself. Every other person had to buy tickets to use the internet. I didn't have to, so I could use free internet as an undergraduate.
Let me say something to that, because there's this principle. People think that when they are involved in anything, they always usually think about the money they get from it.
Yeah.
But the thing I used to tell people that whatever endeavor you are involved in or work, what is most important is who you are becoming when you are doing that work, not just what you are getting. If you are in any kind of work, you are getting something, but you are not becoming something better. Then that's not the work for you. But you might get some work where you are becoming somebody better. Something is happening to you, preparing you for the next level, even though you are not getting much, right? But you are getting what you truly need, because they might take money from you, but they can't take you from you. And that you
Yes.
that can move on to generate more. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So then I'm this kind of person that I used to look at things and study them and try to find solution to it. So I remember that period that everybody, like in the evening, the cyber cafe used to be crowded. So everybody used to come in the evening to browse. But maybe during the day, one person, two persons will come in to browse. And you have to keep the facility on. It's expensive. So I came up with the idea that, okay, we need to actually, give people incentive to actually come in the morning and the afternoon, so that we don't, so that everybody we do with the cars that the cyber cafe is not crowded in the evening.
Yeah.
So I introduced something that we call like off peak and peak hours.
Yeah.
Then I also introduced that if secondary school students could come in their school uniform, they will get student rebates.
Okay.
I came up with this myself. But I now found out that these are principles that people are using in business. I remember like Microsoft, they give student rebate for their softwares. I found out that telecommunication, they do off-peak and peak period where they reduce. I didn't learn that from anybody. I just look at the situation and I devise the solution, and actually worked. Because I realized that some people who don't have lectures in the morning, they could actually come and browse in the morning.
Yeah.
So if we give them incentive to come earlier,
Yeah.
then we'll be able to take more people in the evening.
Yeah.
The afternoon and the money will have. So I came up with that, and when I look back and I see that, oh, these are business people that people use in big companies, and like nobody told me this, nobody taught me this, but I was able to sit down, diagnose the problem, and create this creative solution. I felt like, oh, that I've done something in my life.
Yeah.
So to now to my entrepreneur journey proper. So when I graduated from the university, the only thing that was on my mind was like, oh, I was going to become Mr. Clem's partner. So like, since he's more of a technical person, I will be the one to be the business person, and we will grow his company together. So that was all on my mind. So when I got back to Lagos, I just called him like, oh, Mr. Clem, I'm done with school now. I want to work with you, like we used to do. I wasn't thinking of salary. I just wanted to learn. He exposed me, was taking me to work in multinationals. I didn't have to, to start from scratching the barrel. Because I had a mentor.
Yeah.
I was really starting from a top place.
Yeah. Mhm.
I was able to tell because he was using his leverage for me.
Yeah.
So as an undergraduate, I'd work in companies that work with foreigners, work with multinational, work with because he was actually an high flyer. He was working with multinational. Those are what kind of clients.
Mhm.
Those are the kind of client he was working with. So
Yeah.
when I graduated and I called him, I was like, "Oh, Mr. Clem, I actually want to join your company." He
Mhm.
told me like, "Oh, Doyin, I'm actually moving out of Lagos.
Mm.
That is moving to Warri, to
Mm.
another state, Delta State, with his wife, and
Mm.
he's actually not going to be doing IT again." Now
Mm.
said, "Oh, and Doyin, if you want, I can introduce you to all my clients.
Wow.
You can take over."
Mhm.
That's how that's how I started in Lagos. I started from that position
Mhm.
because
Mhm.
of mentorship. So
Yeah.
when he moved out of Lagos, he just gave me all this company, and they didn't even query me. They were like, oh, and some of them knew me
Mhm.
as an undergraduate. I had been coming in to fix their system before, so they really
Yeah.
couldn't doubt my competence. And
Mhm.
I've still worked with some of these companies up till today,
Yeah.
years, many, many years later.
Mm.
And so I had like a springboard to actually launch my business. So I
Which is
just
a
had to grow it from there.
lesson for people. Be
Sorry?
an entrepreneur. A lesson for people to find mentorship. Mentorship opens the door for you. Mentorship gives you leverage. Mentorship gives you a shoulder to stand upon, so that you don't have to struggle from the beginning, right? Like other people will have to do. Somebody said in life, you either go up by by climbing the stairs or riding the elevator. Mentorship is an elevator. You can go and do the stairs by yourself. It will take you longer, more energy. But if you find somebody, just like what Doyin is talking about right now, you'll find out that some things are just easier for you to step into. Yes, go ahead.
Okay. So that's how pretty much how my entrepreneurship journey started. And starting from that, I've been able to grow it. I've been able to, done certifications. I've been able to do other things. I've been able to dabble into a lot of other things. And because the process of entrepreneurship is the same thing, you
Mhm.
can reuse it over and over again when you learnt it. You
Yeah.
can actually start something, grow
Mhm.
it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
some years back, there's so many I could tell you about, but we don't have all the time to talk about them. But I'll just pick some of them and just talk about them.
Mhm.
I remember like starting a Christian blog.
Mhm.
And the reason why I started Christian blog, it wasn't as if there was a leading of God to start it or anything. This is
Mhm.
me just sitting down one day
Mhm.
and saying that if I want to be a major player,
Mm.
I'm looking for an area that has with little or no resistance, that
Yeah.
there's really no dominant brand in it.
Yeah. That's what they call the blue ocean strategy. I don't know if you've
Yes,
read.
the blue ocean, yes, so I actually didn't want to compete in the red ocean. So I
Mhm.
now identify that what, I could start a Christian lifestyle brand,
Mhm.
like like we look beyond, because a lot of, like, look at now what COVID has made pastors to be doing.
Yeah.
Pastor Land is having activated.
I become a Jonathan now.
But all our engagement before now with Pastor Lam was his preaching, Pastor Lam preaching. So a
Yeah.
lot of pastors, churches were actually being tuned to think of churches as just preaching, 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 and more preaching.
Mhm. Yeah.
So I wanted to explore the other side of Christianity.
Mhm.
So I wanted to have a conversation with a Pastor Lan to find out the kind of food he likes, to find out if Pastor Lan cooks at home,
Yeah.
you know. So that's what I wanted to explore. Like, let's do this. So, and I started from scratch, as in, I started with one person
Mhm.
from my house.
Mhm.
We started growing. We got an office. We grew to a team of 10 under
Yeah.
2 years.
That's ecclesia, right? Ecclesia.
Yes, Ecclesia,
Ecclesia. Yeah.
ecclesia.com. And
Mhm.
in that 2 years, BuzzFeed, rated us 26th top Christian blog in the world.
Yeah. I'm trying to type Ecclesia, was it ECCL?
ECCLZZI.com.
No E there, right?
No, ECCLE.
ZIA.com.
Yes.
Okay.
But right now, we've actually brought it down during COVID. We are revamping.
Okay.
We are revamping. Okay, let me quickly talk about, that I realized a fundamental error in starting Ecclesia, despite a lot of success that we had. One of the fundamental error is the name of the site. Even you can't spell it. So how are people supposed to remember it? Even my wife can't spell it, up till today.
That's a lesson for entrepreneurs. Choose a name that you can spell very easily.
Yes. But it was then when we started, it looked like a very good idea because it actually means the church. So I wanted something that actually meant the church. But I realized that over the year, even if my wife, can't spell it, I do I expect somebody else? I don't expect somebody else's wife to spell it, So we are correcting all that, we are like changing the name, we are revamping it. And apart from that, I would say that it costs a lot of money to actually run, to actually get it to the level that we want to get it to before we start getting returns. We got to a point that people started inviting us to cover concerts.
Yeah, even one of my friends told me that, your brother, why don't you tell your brother he has never featured me? These are he has never featured me on his blog. I'm like, I don't know how he chooses the people that he features though.
That I've never featured you, I've never featured him.
No, not me, the person.
Him.
I'm saying that you have never featured him.
I don't know. It's interesting. There was a Pastor Dana called me. I don't know. He called me one day on a story that we did. I wouldn't talk about what the story is about on air. But no, he called me. I'm like, really? People were like, I remember Pastor Bolaji calling me that Pastor Nicky Adeyemi is angry with us. I'm like, we did a story. I'm like, but it was a lesson. I made an impression on the people that I was working with them. For me, running a business is not just about, having profits, making money. It's also about, elevating, changing people's life.
Yes.
So my team was seeing it live, as in we were like nobodies, and we will come, as in we will start. Okay, we will sit down. I will usually tell them that I only know one secret to success, and I call it Monday meetings. I always repeat it. The only secret I know to success is Monday meetings. And I will explain it. We sit down as a team every Monday. We will say, this is what we are going to do this week.
Yeah.
We will write it down.
That's what it's called in the agile project management system. That's what it's called.
Yes.
Weekly sprint.
Yeah. So we will write down what we are going to do. We will assign who will do it.
Yeah.
Who will do it. Then
That's
we will
what
go.
I do. That's what I do with ministry now. That's what I do. I have my Tuesday. My own is Tuesday. That's why I'm
Tuesday meetings. So we will go. So when we come back next week Monday, when we come back the following Monday, we will sit down.
Yeah.
So we said we would do this last week. Did we do it? Oh yes. Okay, we did not do it. Why didn't we do it?
Yeah.
Okay, is it that it was too difficult? Is it that something was missing?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We would we will start, we would analyze what we need to do. So we'll correct what we need to correct. We'll run it again. We'll come back the following week. And so I was teaching young people. I took them from nowhere. There were people who were just freshly out of the university,
Mm-hmm.
you know, people like they were like, and we became world class all of a sudden.
Mm-hmm.
As in, we as in literally we grew, as in they saw it in life. There's no secret, nothing. They saw it live. And I'm like, so today I see all of them. They are doing similar things in their own lives. They are applying some of those things they learned there. Some of them call me that you are the best person I've ever worked with. And you know, and they were not flattering me. I know
Mm-hmm.
they are not flattering me. I know it is true.
Yeah.
I know it is true.
Yeah.
But it's a combination of a lot of things that I learned growing up.
Yeah.
It's a combination of, you know, things that I had experienced, how
Mm-hmm.
to treat people.
Yeah.
So I've done that over and over again. Done it in agriculture.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, during COVID, I started to do something for entrepreneurs,
Mm-hmm.
and we started with the WhatsApp group.
Yeah.
But today we are having webinars. We are starting our business school, and I the same principle. I pick somebody who had been out of job for a while,
Mm-hmm.
like, and I'm like, okay, you know what? Come and work with me.
Mm-hmm.
And we started, and today she's seeing the results. We are having fun doing it. We know it's not as if there's no secret, there's no I'm
Yeah.
not struggling, not like we
Mm-hmm.
are having fun doing it. It's just simple as, you know, this is what we are going to do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We will do it. We'll go back. We do it. We do a lot of learning. I will tell you, during this COVID, I've read at least maybe 30 books on business.
Yeah. Yeah.
As in, as in, when I realized that I was spending a lot of time on my phone.
Mm-hmm.
I was spending a lot of my time on my phone. So what I did was like, I didn't like reading book on my phone before. You know, when I want to read, maybe I'll read on a tablet or something. So I
Mm-hmm.
just moved my book to my phone.
Yeah.
Thank
Mm-hmm.
God for iPhone. I just moved my book to my phone.
Mm-hmm.
So when I catch myself doing something else, I'll just go and pick a book and start reading.
Yeah. Mm.
And I have set reading goals on my book on my phone,
Yeah.
and coupled with a lot of experience in business.
Yeah.
And today, you know, I'm helping a lot of business people realize something. A lot of them are just, you know, have been battered by COVID. A lot of them lost hope.
Mm-hmm.
So we have like a weekly schedule. Like today, Tuesdays, we look at videos. So we go and look for videos of
Mm-hmm.
entrepreneurs that are what they are doing. So we'll share the video, they will watch it. By 8 o'clock, we'll discuss it.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't be part of today's discussion, but
Yeah.
the group practically runs itself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It practically runs itself. So showing them, then we give them accountability partners. So they
Yeah.
must set goals on Sundays. Then we
Mm.
review them so this time Friday evening. And
Yeah.
a lot of them are, you know, learning. Wednesdays we bring somebody to come and teach them something.
Yeah.
You know, then we have Wednesdays, we have one-on-one session. If you want advice on your business, you can come.
Yeah.
We'll look at it like mentorship.
Mm-hmm.
So I
I know,
did a
I,
lot
know,
of
I mean, a lot, I saw, I've been there, I saw your team, the office that you got. In fact, you just, made a place now, a training center, like you turn it a
yeah.
whole training center, like world class where people can learn stuff, you training people, teaching people. You're also farming, you still continue to farm, right? You are farming on the side and everything. Because of our time, I would like you to do something. 10 principles, just short, 10 principles of entrepreneurial success that you have used. Quickly do it, and then we will end this broadcast for today. You will come back and talk more later. Yeah, go
All
ahead.
right. Okay. Let me tell you like this. Like I told you, I'm somebody that I observe a lot. So I do a lot of thinking. So there was a day I sat down and I look at Nigeria. I said, like, is there a business that Nigerians have started? Are there business Nigerians have started that are gone world class? That you can find all over the world? That, started by Nigerian, not by foreigner, that are gone over the world. Get the business that I found.
Only the church now.
Church. Sorry, I call it business. So
Redeemed Christian Church of God, Winners
it's
Chapel.
all over the world. Winners. Christ Embassy.
Yes.
Imagine if those churches are actually oil company, computer company,
Yeah.
no, like maybe retail giants. They will have stores all over. They will be like the McDonald's,
Yeah,
the
it means that it's
Walmart of the
possible.
world.
If the church can do it, it means that it's possible for other businesses to do it.
So I extracted what churches were doing.
Yes.
So I plan to write the book. I'm going to start writing the book now, since I'm the only
Do it.
member of
I'm
family.
an author now, you know. Even mommy has put you with.
You people will not bring me. You people will not leave me behind in this journey of authorship. So
Even Sister Vic released her book, you know. She was our leader in writing and everything, you know. So that's the way it is. That you are the last born, so it's time.
I'm the only one that has not written a book, so you people will not leave me behind. So I plan to write a book like
that would be a very good book. That's like a PhD.
Yeah, do it like the mega churches.
Yeah.
So I identified principles that the mega churches were using that got them there. The first one that I noticed is that a compelling vision. Maybe they don't know it, but all these churches, their vision, all the their vision are very, very simple to understand. To the layman, redeem church 5 minutes from each other. You know, winners liberate men from poverty. So like their principles, they have this vision that you must have a compelling vision.
Yeah.
A vision that when people join you, they can run with.
Yeah.
Number two, you need relationship. I said there are 4 levels of relationship that you need. You need a role model.
Yeah.
You found out that when the likes of Bishop Oyedepo were starting, they used to look at Kenneth Copeland, Kenneth Hagin as role models. They were not mentors. You know, they were role models. So then you need mentors. All these churches, they have mentors. You know, Bishop Oyedepo, we talk about Pastor Adeboye, Reverend Sam, we talk about, you know, Bishop David Oyedepo. So you should have mentors. You should have mentor in your life that you know. So a mentor is different from a role model. A mentor is somebody that you can relate with, you can ask questions, they can correct you. So you need a mentor. And I realized that them pastors that are growing had peers. They have peer relationships. You know, you have a Pastor Land that is friend with a Pastor Yemi, that is friend with a Pastor Godman, and they have peers that they are challenging each other. And I also know that then they have prodigies.
Yeah.
So your prodigies actually keep you fresh.
Yeah.
I'm sure the Bishop Wedekos on this world are learning from their prodigies how to do all this digital church, all these things. They don't have.
Oh yes.
So your prodigies will keep you fresh. They will keep you connected to the coming generation.
Yeah.
So another thing that I saw is that it's big with a lot of churches. They might not know that is a major reason why they grew. The concept of God's money. You know, churches will say this money is for God. So the pastor can't just take it. You have to separate your finances.
So financial management, right?
Yeah, don't spend the money of the business on yourself. This pastor won't spend the money on themselves. They believe it's God's money. It's not their money. So
stewardship,
stewardship, like so like, you know, it's called the concept of God's money.
Yeah.
The other one is that these churches didn't start up heavy with laborers, with staff. You know, started with free laborers.
Lean startup.
Yes. So that's the concept of lean startup. Sorry?
There's a book that's called Startup. Yeah.
I know the book. I have the book. I've even read it during this holiday. So, you know, the concept of lean startup, you know, like, you know, they say, you know, the minimum viable product.
Yeah.
So then another thing is that these people, they start where they are. Start where you are.
Okay.
Don't start looking for one loan somewhere. I will get one loan to start. If I don't get this loan, I can't start. There's no business that you can't start where you are.
Yeah.
Even if it is robotics, even if it is rocket science, you can start where you are. You have YouTube.
Yeah.
If what you are making is YouTube video of your knowledge on robotics.
Yeah.
As you grow, some people will join you. Other people will ask you to train them.
Yeah.
You can buy your first robot from there.
Yeah.
So those are some of the principles I pick from churches, but principles in life that you use in business. Okay, let me just gather my thoughts for 1 minute, so for a few seconds. Yes, as in, don't start with a why. Start with why. Start with why when you're starting something. It keeps you going. Why am I starting this business? Be sincere with yourself. Be sincere with yourself why you're starting it. If you are starting it if you money that you want to make, tell yourself why you're starting it. So start with a why. Don't start with a what. Rather start with why. Then value relationships. We've talked about relationship, but we can't overemphasize it. I have not met, as I don't know anybody who had gone up who didn't have relationships that helped him. As in, somebody will refer you, somebody will mention you. So now don't now judge people by what they are today. Some of the people that referred me, they didn't look like people that will refer me. I'd worked with a governor in Nigeria. The person that got the connection for me and my partner, was a flatmate in the university. If I didn't treat him well, he wouldn't have bothered to do the connection. And he's the one that did it. I'd been introduced to people. I'd worked for countless number of people. I worked with the National Assembly. I'd worked with state government, all from people. People seeing that you are doing something and they say, oh, don't you come and talk to this person? Just I already talked to this person. I'll go and talk to that person. For me, and it all came from, if these people feel threatened by me or that I treated them one way or the other, they wouldn't. So I'll say, don't treat people because of how they look today.
Okay.
Don't treat people because of how they look today. Treat everybody well, because you don't know what they will be tomorrow. Some of these people that are looking down today might become the president tomorrow. Imagine people that knew Obama when he was young. Imagine if they had remained his friend or they had invested in life. So I usually take a conscious effort to invest in people. People that don't look like it today. I invest in them. Like, it's easier to invest in somebody who is down actually than to invest in somebody who is up there. So I might give you a book, I might give you a word of encouragement. So a lot of them come back and say like, oh, thank you for, when I was down, you used to push me. I just it doesn't cost anything to even if it's a word of encouragement, people don't forget it. And those things are like investments. They will multiply back to you later in life.
Something I posted this thing in the Leading Light group today, and it's like what you were saying. It says, how we walk with the broken speaks louder than how we sit with the great.
Yes, sir.
How we walk with the broken speaks louder than how we
I judge you by how you walk with the broken. That's how I judge you. I determine your character by how you treat people who are below your station in life.
That's
how I judge you. I don't look at how you treat people who have achieved. I look at how you treat people who are below you, who are below your station in life. It says a lot about you to me.
All right, so we need two more principles, and we're going to end.
It's prepared for business school. Seek for knowledge. You can't overemphasize that.
Yeah.
Seek. You have to seek knowledge. You have to keep seeking.
Mm-hmm.
You
Yeah.
have to seek it like oxygen. You
Mm-hmm.
have to seek it like your life depends on it. You
Mm-hmm.
attend seminars. There's YouTube now.
Mm-hmm.
Watch YouTube. There's nothing that's not on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
How to make bombs is on. If you want to be a terrorist, how to be a terrorist is on YouTube.
Yeah, but don't be a terrorist though. Before the,
Don't get it.
before the FBI come to get us, that's not what we are saying. No.
No,
So
no, no. I'm just giving as an example.
yeah.
So seek knowledge like you need it, like your life depends on it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yes. All right. Number 10, final one.
Number 10, law of process. After having done all you can do, just stand.
Mm.
Sometimes you will do everything, it still will not work out.
Mm-hmm.
Don't berate yourself.
Yeah.
Just learn to get up and go again.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You have, as in, let's just say, you have to learn how to use failure. Failure will come.
Yeah.
You should use failure as a stepping stone,
Yeah.
not your tombstone.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So use failure as a stepping stone. Powerful, powerful, powerful doing. This has been so rich, and I'm sure that people that are watching this will say the same. So, guys, I would love you guys to just post. And let's appreciate Doyin for sharing just a part of his story. There's still a lot more to share, and Doyin is still going to be coming on, to share more. But today, man, this has been so rich, so rich. I mean, I'm going to recommend this to people who are entrepreneurs or who want to get into entrepreneurship.
They should join CEDA up, we'll train them. They can join from all over the world.
Up, right? It's called. Is it a website?
No, it's a WhatsApp group right now, but our website is coming up very, very soon, maybe by next week. Then we are starting a podcast too.
Okay, so once we get that going, we'll come back again and talk about it, so that we how people can join it and everything. But I want to thank you so much for coming. It's been fun. And I missed this. Us talking, I just laughing like this. Distance, I'm talking about principles of life. But I want to say that as your older brother, I'm very proud of you. I mean, I'm very proud of you. I mean, I always talk about you and the things you are doing. I'm really, really impressed by, your tenacity, your wisdom, how you just keep on, going for it. And, I'm very happy, very proud of your intellectual capacity, your wisdom, and just knowing.
Thank you so much.
And I'm praying for you. So we're going to, we need to talk more, as all these things, like the next thing that you're working on right now will come on and we'll talk more about it. But thank you for sharing these principles. Please, let's appreciate Doyin. Let's appreciate him for such an awesome time today, everyone. And
we should thank the internet too.
What did you? Yeah, we should thank the internet this time around. He just stayed. He didn't stay. He stayed. So we give God all the glory. For it. Well, Doyin, thanks. Everybody watching us, we're very grateful. Thank you for joining us for this Light 360 today. It's been so powerful. I was so blessed, and I'm sure you were blessed too. Tomorrow, we're going to be coming back again with somebody else too that will, that will come and share their stories again. And I believe that is going to inspire you. So now we're going to sign off. Doyin, please say bye-bye to everybody. Bye, everyone. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, everybody. It's a great privilege and honor to be here, to share the same platform with Pastor Lan. It has never happened before. So
I believe that this is the first time. Well, maybe this is my first journalistic platform. This is COVID inspired.
All right, and also shout out to my cousin.
Yeah,
making up comment. Thank you so much. Thank you for being an awesome person too.
Yeah. All right. So everybody, we will see you again next time. Thank you for joining us, and God bless you. We will be signing off now.